All right, hello and welcome to beautiful Crossfield, Alberta. I'm Simon Chaskovsky, and we've got a matchup between the Rockyview Silvertips and the Mountain View Mavericks. In between the pipes for the Silvertips, we are going to see Jacob Orr. He's got a record, or excuse me, he's so far this season played, I believe, in 8 games, 7.69 save percentage, 9.3 goals against average, and 4 assists so far on the season. On the other side, for the Mavericks, it's going to be Alex Swan. Alex Swan, so far on the season, is going to have, I believe, 8 games played. Or excuse me, 11 games played. I had to find it on my sheet. 8.33 save percentage, 6 goals against, and 3 assists. We are now underway here in Crossfield. The Mavericks starting with the ball here, working their way around. Long shot from the outside. Mavericks are going to have to go all the way back into their own zone to find it, and that's going to be an over and back call. Silvertips getting their offensive start. It's Shebeck from the outside. Silvertips 1-0. So just like that, it'll be 1-0 for the Silvertips. Mavericks starting with the ball in their own zone here. And they're going to have to bring this one up the floor. So a Silvertip defender is going to lose his stick. Mavericks with it up high. Nate Shebeck on that last goal. He's the point leader on the season for the Silvertips. Mavericks charging in, having a chance, or making a nice save. I believe he might have stepped in the crease in the process as well. Silvertips are going to make their way up the floor with the ball. With this one up at center, Graydon Clark sends this one to the corner. All the way across the floor, Sharp fires it right in front. Newhook with a chance, but he couldn't quite beat the goaltender. Swan sends this one up the floor. Big hit there at center. And the Mavericks start again up high. Now in the corner, making his way up around. It'll end up going off the end boards and all the way down the floor. Alex Swan choosing to leave this one behind his net as the Silvertips will get a chance to get their offense going once again. Zach Cullen with it behind the net. Cullen up high, all the way across the zone. Charging in here, that's Twite. Twite couldn't get his shot off. Long chance here for the Mavericks as they went for all of it. Couldn't quite find the pass. He'll get it off the rebound off the backboards. And he'll take this one back out. Up high with it. Making their way around. Down low. He has to take a shot. 10 seconds. He'll fire. That one blocked in front. Mavericks will try again. Charging in. Having a chance, but that'll miss the net. And that'll be a shot clock violation on the Mavericks. Graydon Clark with this one up high. Clark to Shebeck. Shebeck over to, I believe that was Clark again. Montgomery now to Shebeck. Had a chance at his second, but they couldn't find the pass. Shebeck finds it in front. Could beat Swan. Swan able to make a desperation save. And it looks like this will be awarded back to the Silvertips. Up high with it. Montgomery, he's going to lose it. Mavericks charging down the floor. 2-on-1. Walking in. He'll fire. Jump shot, and it'll go. The Mavericks tie things right back up. 1-1. Shots so far, 3-1 favoring the home squad. Cole Twite is going to catch this one at center, and he'll move up the floor. Down the left side with it. Into the corner. And he's going to get knocked around. Mavericks able to pick this one up on the stick of Brendan Harnack. Harnack, he'll move this one up. Along the left side. Choosing to take his time. He'll take it into the corner, but he'll face a double team. Able to get it out. Back up high again. Ball loose. Silvertips might be able to recover it. This one on the stick of Myris. But he's going to end up losing it, as I believe it goes into the Mavericks bench. So we'll see the Mavericks get the ball back. 16:05 now on the clock. Mavericks with a chance right in front. It'll go into the corner. Back up high. Looking for options. He's going to fire this one, but it'll go wide and all the way down the floor. And I believe into the Mavericks bench once again. Schrader up high with it. Over to the corner. Shebeck with it. He's going to try and make something work here. Up high. Back along the side to Montgomery for the shot, but it'll end up going wide again. Schrader moving back up. He's going to walk in with it. Looking for a shot. He'll get one off, but again, it'll go wide. And I believe into the netting. It looks like the Silvertips will get it back. So they'll try and find something here. Montgomery over to Shebeck. Shebeck along the right side. He's going to bounce off a defender. Has a screen, won't take it. Clark fires that one wide right of the post. Schrader, the captain in front, pushing his way through. Montgomery with the steal now. And he'll end up having it up high. Taking his time with it. Sending that one back over. And Alex Swan will end up with it. So the Mavericks with another chance to get their offense going. Misses on that pass, though. Moving the other way with a charge, but he's going to run into a double team. Getting some help from Zachary Cullen. Sharp takes it to the corner. He has it up high. Cross the zone again. Newhook trying to push his way in all alone. Mavericks making their way around the offensive zone. Up high again to Jace Dolinski. Dolinski trying to move down the left side, pushing in. He's going to fire, but I think that one's going to go into the netting. Back up high again. Tries the shot, or with a nice save as it's recovered again by Hudson James. James running along the outside. He's going to have to spin off a defender and charge for it up the floor. Taking a massive hit, and he'll spill into the boards. Silvertips trying to recover it. I think it ended up on a tip stick. Graydon Clark with it. Clark pushing his way through. He's going to try and fight for it with it up high. I think he's still got it. Running out of time. 5 seconds on the shot clock. They need to shoot it. Cullen fires, and he's going to take a spill. And the Mavericks, I believe, will get the ball back. Moving up the floor with it. Up high. Down the right side. Moving in. having a chance to take it to the net. He ends up taking it to the corner instead. Trying to find someone in front of the net, and he will. Beautiful shot by Riley Benko. 2-1 Mavericks. The Mavericks working with the ball on the outside now. Back along the left boards on the stick of Sutherland. Sutherland looking for a shot. He's going to walk in with it. Takes it right in front, but he'll lose the ball on what could have been an A-grade chance. Back up high. Class all the way across. And that was Drake May, I believe, on the shot. But he couldn't quite make it work. Back up again. Shebeck down the right side, looking for something on goal. Gets it nice and low from a shot on Newhook, but they couldn't beat Swan. Because they're going to try and move up the floor here. Sending this one across the zone. Back along the left side. In the corner. Pushing their way through. He's going to fight through some contact. Still has the ball. He'll keep going. Trying to get it on goal. He'll get knocked down. Silvertips not able to recover it. He still got it. Finds a teammate. But they couldn't get the shot off. Second try. They will. Jacob Orr with a nice save. And it looks like we may be getting a penalty here. And it's going to be a Silvertip heading to the box here. I believe serving for this one is going to be Conrad Ferguson. As they have this one up high, making their way around the zone. Mavericks trying to see if they can extend their lead on the power play. Sending this one into the corner, and it ends up on Jacob Orr's stick. Orr takes his time. He's going to fire this one all the way in onto the stick of Nickel, but it didn't stay on it for too long as he lost grip of it fast, and the Mavericks start to head the other way. Taking this one up the floor, looking at his options. They're going to send this one into the corner. Right in front. He'll fire that one just wide. 10 seconds on the shot clock. It'll get restarted here. Still a minute on the power play for the Mavericks. And we're going to have a little bit of a scrum going on at center here. Sutherland being told, I think he's getting sent off the floor. And we've got a fight going on. Holy smokes, they've dropped the mitts, and they're letting them fly. Here we go. The Silvertip still has his helmet on. Ryan Williamson, he'll get tackled. Both men hit the floor. That was some WWE stuff. And they don't want to stop. We got two refs in there as well. Holy smokes. And when people ask you why these Central Division matchups are so fun to watch, I think that's a pretty damn good example of exactly why. And both men are going to be sent right off the floor. I didn't even have a time to check my sheet to figure out who was who. That was Jace Victoria for the Mavericks. On the other side of that fight was Ryan Williamson. As I believe both men are going to be gone for the game, assumingly. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to wait for an official ruling on it, but that could be really bad for the Mavericks. Jace Victoria, I believe, is their leading scorer with 36 points so far on the season. as we're getting both captains at center here to talk this one out and try and figure out what's going to be the outcome of this. As I think I just saw one of the refs shrug. I'm not even sure they quite know yet what the game plan is going to be here. Still 10 minutes remaining in the first period. Score is 2-1. I believe they're telling them, we'll wait for an official ruling because I don't know if I trust my eyes that well, but I thought I saw 4-on-4, although I guess it could be 5-on-5. Who knows? We'll see what happens. As we have another penalty being added to the board. It's a 2-minute penalty to the Mavericks. I can't quite see the number of the players sitting in the box for it, but yeah, it's going to be a game misconduct. They just announced that in the arena here. So both Jace Victoria and I believe it was Ryan Williamson on the other side will be gone for the rest of the game. Up high, Cullen sends this one across the zone. Newhook to Shebeck. Shebeck down the right side. Tried to center this to Cullen. Wouldn't quite make it work. And now heading the other way. Breakaway for the Mavericks. Charging in. He'll fire. What a save by Jacob Orr. Orr is going to pass this one up the floor, but he's going to miss on the pass. Ends up turning it back over to the Mavericks, trying to charge in, but he lost grip of the ball on that one and couldn't quite set something up. That was Grayson Amundsen on the chance there. They're going to take their time, setting up down the left side. He's going to charge in, trying to beat the defender. Ends up getting double-teamed with a chance in front. Firing, Jacob Orr with a nice save. Orr might have to make another one, too, as the Mavericks recover it. Grabbing the rebound, and that'll reset the shot clock. And I think Swan might be heading to the box, too. So, or not the box, excuse me, the bench. So a Silvertip might be heading to the box. So that'll be something to watch here. As currently there are 5 Mavericks on the floor to 5 Silvertips, due to one Maverick still being in the box for another 30-ish seconds. And they're trying to make something of it. It'll finally get swatted down, and that'll be recovered by the Silvertips. And it looks like we are going to get our timeout here, or excuse me, our media break. So with that, we're going to take a second to quickly tell you about the Battle of the Border. Battle of the Border is back this September in Missoula, Montana. Tour the beautiful University of Montana campus. Learn about the CROW LAX program and full ride scholarships available for Canadians, all while taking part in the annual North vs. South Box Lacrosse Tournament. Learn more today by following us on Instagram at Battle of the Border Lax Battle of the Border Lax just on Instagram. We will be right back in just a moment. You're watching CROW LAX TV. All right, sorry about that, folks. We should be back on YouTube now. We had a little bit of a mishap, but you did not miss much, as we've got a power play for the Mavericks going on here. And they're trying to make something of it here. They're going to lose the ball in the offensive zone. And try and set up. Silvertips with it. And they're trying to waste a little bit of clock. Still a minute left on their penalty. With it in the corner here. That's going to be Tyler Montgomery. Montgomery is going to try and put this on goal. He'll miss, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Silvertips wasting all 30 seconds of that shot clock. Mavericks still with 35 seconds left on their penalty, or on their power play. Sutherland. He's going to pass this one up high. And they're going to play a little bit of hot potato. Looking for an angle. They'll fire this one. Goes off the wrong side of the net as we get a little bit more pushing and shoving between two players. I think that's between Sutherland and Trayton Myris. Oh, and we're going to get penalties for that as the ref is trying to stop this as quick as possible. They do not want to see this Central Division game blow up. So that's going to be a 2-minute penalty. Over to a Maverick. So it's going to be some 4-on-4 for about 10 seconds, and then a power play for the Silvertips for about 1 minute and 45 seconds. The Silvertips with this one up high. Shebeck trying to set this one up. Back over to Colin. Twice sending that one into the corner. Silvertips recovering, and they'll keep things going on this power play. Back up high. Twite to Shebeck. Back to Twite. Down low, trying to find Clark, but he'll miss on the attempt. And both players collide right into the Mavericks bench. They'll prevent an over and back, but they'll only have 10 seconds to try and set something up. Shebeck to Twite. He's got a lane. He'll fire that one going off the stick of Alex Swan. With this one up high, Twite to Shebeck. Back to Twite. And that'll nearly get picked off along the corner. 20 seconds still on the shot clock, and the Mavericks are trying to pin it. Shebeck back over to Twite. Long shot from Schrader, and that ends up going off, I believe, Swan and into the netting, so the Silvertips will get it right back. Swan ends up losing that one. Mavericks heading the other way. 2-on-0 maybe. Can they beat the defender? Charging in. No one to beat. He'll jump off the crossbar. And the Mavericks were that close away from getting a shorthanded goal that would have put them up by 2. And they'll have this one up high. Taking their time. He'll charge in, but that shot goes wide left. Back up high we go. Nickel, and he's going to try and do it all on his own. Taking it down the right side. Gets spinned off by a defender. And picking that one back up was Cullen. Back to Montgomery. Montgomery sends that one back across the zone. Charging in. They'll fire. That one goes off the goaltender and back out. So Schrader will pick it up and get a renewed shot clock. Schrader has to send it back over to Cullen. Cullen to Sharp. Sharp over to the corner now. Over to Montgomery. Back to even strength. And they'll keep on ticking. Montgomery trying to fight their way into the zone. Long shot from Newhook. And that's going to result, I believe, in a Mavericks ball. Mavericks trying to move up the floor. Sending that one over. Pushing in with a shot, but I don't know if he quite got it on. Jacob Orr coming behind his net to try and help out. But it looks like his teammates won't quite need it, as they'll get a double team on the lone Maverick, but he'll get it right back, as that'll be picked right back up by Sinclair. Moving off the defender. And they're going to try and set something up here. In the corner. He's going to take this one back behind the goal. And it'll be stolen by the Tips as they try and move it out of the zone. Multiple players lose equipment there on that play. And it looks like we might be getting some sort of call here. I'm not entirely sure if it'll be a penalty or not. We'll have to wait and see. Up high, Sutherland charging down the left side, back to the top, pushing in. He has a chance. He's going to take it, puts that one over the crossbar. Not able to get his own rebound, as that one will end up on Graydon Clark's stick. Jacob Orr coming out of his net. He won't be the one to grab it, though. That is going to be Graydon Clark once again. As back up high, that'll be Shebeck. Shebeck takes this one to the corner. Newhook. That'll be picked up, and it'll be a long pass here. Trying to take this one to the net, but I think they missed a touch on it. So now the Silvertips try and head the other way. Low scoring first period here between the top of the Central Division. Sharp trying to send that one over to Schrader, but he couldn't quite find his stick. and Trader's going to get double teamed in the corner. And it looks like this is going to be awarded back to the Mavericks. Mavericks with the ball up high on the left side. He'll get knocked into the corner and lose the ball. Trayton Myris, he's going to try and take this up the floor with speed. Passing that one instead back over to Mondragon. Mondragon to Shebeck to the corner. And the Silvertips get their offense on the floor. Isaac Nickel back up high to Mason Schrader. Nickel over to Cullen. Cullen charging in all the way across the new hook. Tried to hit Shebeck. Back to Cullen instead. Cullen, Shebeck along the side of the goal, trying to spin off the defender, and that is going to be a shot clock violation. Stolen back by the Silvertips. And moving up the floor, that'll be Ferguson. Ferguson still with the ball, but he's going to run into some trouble, trying to find a little bit of help. Sends it over to Montgomery, who's going to walk this one in, and it looks like we may be seeing a penalty here, and not one that the Silvertips will probably be too happy to see. This one, I believe, is going to be on Cole Twite. It's going to be a slashing penalty, and it will carry over into the second period. In the corner. Mavericks working their way around the offensive zone. Up high, looking for something here. Still get pushed up. Tried or faked the jump shot. Had me fooled. Sutherland with a pretty fancy play there. And they'll get knocked down, and that is going to do it for that first attempt on the power play. Mavericks putting on the press. Sutherland not able to slow down the Silvertip. Charging in here, new hook with a chance. He'll put it right into Swan. And in the process, put himself right into Swan. But it looked like both players ended up okay at the end of it. And now the Mavericks taking this one up the floor. Sinclair back over to Bamung, back behind the net. Mavericks trying to find something, running out of clock though, and they'll need to fire. Good first save by Orr. You won't have to make a second thanks to a clutch rebound by Cassius Adams, who's going to have to jump on the ball here. He'll lose it. Mavericks with a chance. They'll miss on the pass, and they won't be able to capitalize, so they'll have to slow things down. Still 30 seconds roughly left on the power play, 20 seconds on the game clock. And the Mavericks are going to take their sweet time here. 10 seconds. Back behind the goal. Trying to find something here. Running out of shot clock. He needs to fire, but he won't get it off in time. And 0.7 seconds left on the clock here. And that is going to do it. First period between the Silvertips and the Mavericks coming to a close here in Crossfield. Your score, 2-2-1. And we'll be right back with you in just 10 minutes. You are watching CROW LAX TV. Make sure to subscribe for all the action in Junior B. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to beautiful Crossfield, Alberta. We've got the second period in between the Silvertips and the Mavericks coming up in just a moment here. Your score so far, 2-1. If I remember correctly, I think we are going to start with about 3 seconds left on a penalty to a Silvertip. So we'll be beginning with 5-on-4, but not for long, as I believe, I can't remember which Silvertip was in the box at the beginning of the, or at the end of the period there, but whoever that was will return to the bench, or to the box, excuse me. Colt White, there we go, as we get him walking over to the box. Shots so far in this game, 10-10. As we get ready for the face-off, taking the draw is Cassius Adams on the other side. That is going to be Remy Painchot, I believe. And with that, we're underway. Or at least I was hoping we'd be underway. Not quite. Here we go. We're underway. As this will get pinned down, I believe, by the Silvertips as they get their player out of the box. And we'll get started here. Mavericks with this one in their own zone, starting to move up the floor. As this one's picked up, charging in here, he's going to have to slow things down and sends it over to a teammate. Trying to find a little bit of action here. Sending it down the left side. Looks at a shot. He's going to whip that one, I believe, off the goaltender and wide. Mavericks will get it back. Renewed shot clock. This one sent back up high. Making their way around the outside. He's going to take his time looking at his options. Trying to set this one up. And they're going to dive in and score. 3-1 Mavericks. Holy smokes, he takes flight. And I believe it was Devin Gardner on the shot. We'll have to wait for confirmation, as I didn't see the number as he jumped in the air there. But regardless, the Mavericks, just like that, grab a 2-goal lead here as they're trying to hold on to their top spot in the Central. Just a 1-point lead on the Silvertips, and right behind the Silvertips, I believe, are the Chill. Mavericks with it up high. Working with this one on the outside, looking for a shot. Trying to charge in. Back on the outside again. They're looking at their options, running out of time. He'll fire that one. And it'll end up going all the way back down the floor. Silvertips will get the ball, starting with it behind the net of the Mavericks. With this one, that's Tyler Montgomery. Montgomery trying to find a teammate. He'll send this one over to Sharp, down to the corner to Graydon Clark. Clark to Shebeck. Shebeck down the right side. He'll fire that one. Able to beat Swan, but it bounced just a touch left of the post. Graydon Clark in the corner with it now. He's looking at his options. Trying to find a teammate. Nolan Sharp. He's going to push his way in. He'll fire, but he will not beat Alex Swan, who was able to get his stick on top of it. But it looks like the referees saw something they didn't like, and we're going to see the ball handed back to the captain of the Silvertips, Mason Trader, who sends it over to Sharp. Sharp to Shebeck. Shebeck over to the corner. Montgomery charging in, firing, misses, nearly hits the ref. And now the Mavericks heading up the floor. That one over to Lodermeyer. Lodermeyer pushing up as they try and put a chance in on Orr. Ball still loose. Mavericks end up with it, and it looks like they'll end up giving this one right back to the Silvertips. Cassius Adams with it at center. He'll get it knocked off his stick. Double teamed by the Mavericks as it goes flying into the netting, and it'll go back to the Mavericks. And it looks like we might be seeing a man in the box for the Silvertips here. As heading to serve, it appears that is going to be Cassius Adams, I believe leading the Tips in penalty minutes so far this season. And I believe that's an interference call. It'll be a 2-minute penalty going to the Silvertips, giving the Mavericks a nice chance here to potentially just increase their lead just that much more. In the corner, Mavericks have it as they try and set up their offense. Looking for his options. They'll send it across the zone, and it'll end up in between the legs of Jacob Orr, who squeezed him to stop that from getting through. Both goaltenders have played excellent today. So far, Orr only allowing 3 goals on 15 shots. Alex Swan, 1 goal on 12 shots as Graydon Clark sneaks through, tries to get it on goal, and will. Silvertips back within 1. Tyler Montgomery grabbing his 19th of the year. And that's a massive goal for the Silvertips, shorthanded as well. So we get ready for another face-off. It'll get quickly blown down. With it along the side now, the Mavericks load up their offense, sending this one into the corner. Making their way around, down low behind the goal. About a minute left on the Mavericks power play. They'll get that shot off. Good save by Orr. Silvertips able to recover it, and he'll go for a run. Alex Newhook taking that one in, trying to beat through multiple defenders, but he couldn't quite solve it. And now the Mavericks move up the floor, trying to get their offense going. Nice save by Jacob Orr. And it looks like the Silvertips recovered it, but it'll be quickly given back to the Mavericks off an illegal play. Back up high again. Mavericks getting their offense started, trying to see what they can find. About 25 seconds left. They'll try and get that shot off. Good save by Orr. Recovered by the Silvertips here. As they'll throw a long pass all the way up the floor with a chance. They'll put it on net. Alex Swan able to make the save. It ends up back behind the goal and picked back up by the Mavericks. As this ball's all the way on the other side of the floor, it'll end up going over Orr's net. And the Mavericks recover it and get their offense going again. Power play has come to a close. So we're back to 5-on-5. 1 goal difference, 15 minutes still on the clock here in the second period. Mavericks working their way around the outside. Jace Dolinsky with it. It'll be stolen back by the Silvertips, trying to move up the floor. Cassius Adams, he'll send a long pass. Shabak fires, he'll score. Silvertips tie it up, 3-3. Nate Shabak with his second of the game, 13th of the year, good for 46 points on the season. And the comeback for the Silvertips pays off. Silvertips with the ball now. Mondragon with it. Mondragon passes that one to Shabak. All the way over. Nickel charging in. He'll fire. Puts that one low. Swan with a nice save. Moving back up again. Ethan Hildebrandt passes that one up to Kai Class. Class. He'll have it on the wing. Passes that one all the way across. Mavericks continuing to load up their offense. Charging in. He has a shot. He'll fire. but he won't beat Orr. I think he might have missed the net. As we'll wait to see where the ball ends up after all this. Logan Newhook with it. I believe I might have said Alex Newhook earlier. That's my fault. Alex Newhook plays in the NHL. I believe for the Montreal Canadiens. I apologize for that. Bit of a mistake on my part. Logan Newhook had the ball there. Over to Sharp. He'll miss on that pass. And I believe we'll see the Mavericks get the ball back at center. Making their way down the far side of the floor. Sends that one over with a chance on goal. The Mavericks trying to beat Orr. As this will end up going all the way back down. Recovered by Swan. Swan deciding not to play quarterback this time. Passes this one right off. And the Mavericks move up the floor. Trying to set up. He'll take it to the net. Putting that one on goal. It'll be stopped by Orr, who's going to try and play this one. Looking at his options. He's going to walk far out of his net. Sending a long pass. It'll end up finding Shebeck. Shebeck loses it, but it'll be quickly picked back up. And the Silvertips move back forward. Hudson James hands it off to Schrader. Schrader passing this one over to Cullen. Cullen to Montgomery. Montgomery crossed the floor to Schrader. In front, Shebeck fires. He'll score. Grabbing the hat trick and the lead. 4-3 Silvertips. An impressive second period for the Silvertips here, as they're now looking at a lead over top of the Central. The Mavericks trying to get that last goal back, charging in. He has a lane, taking it to the front, Orr with a nice save. The Mavericks try to get their offense going. On the far side of the floor, charging in with a jump shot. I believe it'll get blocked in front. It's still loose. He'll try again. Not able to beat Orr. It's a loose again. Orr finally swats down the ball, and we'll get a freeze in play here. As that'll be a Silvertip heading to the box. That'll be Isaac Nickel. And he's going to take a seat here. I believe it'll be a 2-minute penalty. And it's going to be a holding penalty to Nickel. So the Mavericks with a chance here to get their lead back, or at the very least tie it up on the power play. And they'll work with it along the outside. Firing this one. And now the Silvertips trying to break out while on the penalty kill. That one over to Logan Newhook as it goes flying into the corner. And that'll go flying all the way down the floor. Mavericks giving this one right back up. Getting it back. It's loose at center. And the Mavericks heading the other direction on the power play. Can they find something here? Jump shot. He'll score. No, he won't. He was down in the crease. They'll say he had a foot down. Wow. What a call on that one. As now the Silvertips are going to try and break out. And there are a lot of people in this barn that are not too happy with that one. But we'll just have to keep on playing. Graydon Clark with it up high. He passed that one to Montgomery. Montgomery pushed into the boards. He's going to have to try and hold on to this one. Getting it out, charging towards the net. He has a lane, but he'll lose the ball. And two Mavericks are going to be there to pick this one up. Moving up the floor. Back up high again to Sutherland. This one on the stick of Muratori. Muratori looking at his options. He's going to push in. He's going to try and score, and will. Everett Muratori with an athletic play getting through the defense, pushing his way through multiple defenders to tie us back up 4-4. As that face-off was waved off, Mavericks with it up high, trying to push towards the net. And on the other side with it now, that will be Gardner. Gardner fires, blocked in front by Orr, rebounds there, trying to get it on, but it'll be recovered by the Silvertips. Orr with the ball here. He's going to send a long pass out to center, pushing forward with it now. As that's going to be Schrader with it, sending this one to the corner. Sharp now. Sharp over to, I believe that's Cullen. Cullen facing some tough pressure, and he'll lose the ball. Montgomery having to run it down, but that's going to be an over and back on the Silvertips. So the Mavericks will get the chance to start with the ball in the offensive zone here. Or excuse me, they'll start in their own zone, but carry it over. Taking it to the far corner. Trying to set something up here. Pushing it up high. Long shot. Fires that one. Good save. And he'll get knocked down. Logan Newhook losing the ball. Myris having to come in and help out. It'll end up getting knocked into the air. We might be seeing multiple players taking a seat here, I believe, as both doors are going to be opening. Logan Newhook is going to sit. Joining him as well will be Riley Benko. We'll wait for the official announcement on what the call is going to be. It's going to be roughing. That's what they're going to give both players, I believe, here. Yep, roughing to both sides. It'll be 2 minutes. We'll wait and see what the outlook of this will end up being. As we get some confirmation that I believe it will be. Oh, right, that's my mistake. We will be going to a short break, but first, we're going to take the time to quickly tell you about the Battle of the Border. Battle of the Border is back this September in Missoula, Montana. Tour the beautiful University of Montana campus, learn about the CROW LAX program, and full ride scholarships available for Canadians, all while taking part in the annual North vs. South Box Lacrosse Tournament. Learn more today by following us on Instagram at Battle of the Border Lax. We are back underway here in Crossfield. That's my mistake. I almost didn't realize that it was the media timeout. I thought they were just taking a second to figure out what the penalties were going to be. As the Silvertips have the ball here. Long shot from Schrader. It'll be a nice save by Swan. Alex Swan, usually one of the best goaltenders in Junior B, year in, year out. The Mavericks having the ball on the outside here. They'll try and charge in, run into a defender. Has it up high. Sutherland fires, but that one goes wide and all the way down the floor. And I believe they'll give this one back to the Mavericks. Still 1:03 left on both penalties. Mavericks are going to take their sweet time, trying to run forward here. They'll pass this one off. Charging up, looking at the shot. He's going to push in, fires. I don't know if that went off the post or not, but it didn't go in, and that's all the Silvertips care about, I'll tell you that. The Mavericks are going to get it back. The Mavericks with this one up high. They'll fire that one wide. Moving the other way, breakaway for the Silvertips. They're going to charge in, firing that one wide. And the Mavericks will get the ball back. Heading the other direction, chance in front, they'll score. Hayden Sutherland putting the Mavericks up once again, 5-4. Still 8 seconds on both penalties to Logan Newhook and to Riley Benko. And I believe this ball will go to the Silvertips. Shebeck with it in the offensive zone, trying to lose his defender, as I believe he's got Hildebrandt on his hip. Shebeck down the right side, gets sticks tangled, and now it ends up on Schrader's stick. Back over to Sharp on the close side. Sends that one all the way across. Montgomery fires that one just wide. Logan Newhook back behind the net. Newhook up to Shebeck. Shebeck fires, scores his 4th of the game. 5-5. Nate Shebeck is on fire. Face-off won by the Silvertips. Into the corner we go. Cole Twite. Twite, he's going to take a nice lap around the floor. Schrader with the ball once again over to Cullen. Schrader looking at his options, tries to power through. Trying to find a teammate, won't be able to. He'll lose the ball. Mavericks trying to move up the floor. He'll get knocked down though, and it'll be recovered by one of his teammates. Mavericks trying to move up. In the corner now. Mavericks pushing forward, trying for the shot. It'll end up going wide. Picked right back up. Shot clock still has not restarted, so they'll have to fire that one from outside or making a sliding save. And now they'll get a nice new shot clock. Jace Dolinsky back behind the goal with it, looking for some help. He's going to send it up high, long shot. That one goes right into the pad of Orr. And back behind the goal again, the Mavericks have it. And they're continuing to try and find something here. And I think this one will miss on the pass. As I'm a little bit unsure on what's happening here. I think we might be having a equipment issue with Jacob Orr. So while they figure this out, we are going to go to a short break and come back when things continue here. You are watching CROW LAX TV. All right, welcome back. It looks like Jacob Orr is all right. He's going to stay in between the pipes for the Silvertips. Heading up, chance for the Mavericks. Cole Twite is going to jump up and grab it instead. avoiding what could have been a dangerous rebound. Mavericks moving up the floor. As we're going to get another quick whistle here. And it looks like we may be getting a Maverick in the box. Silvertips with this ball up high. Schrader. As it is 5-5 between the Silvertips and the Mavericks. Mavericks moving up the floor with it. Trying to set something up here. Charging in with a chance. Trying to beat Orr. I don't believe they could. And now the Silvertips trying to head the other direction. Cole Twite. Passing that one over to Shebeck. Up high again, Twite. In front, Schrader tried the jump shot, but I don't think he hit the net, and the Mavericks will get the ball back. And they're going to take their sweet time on this one. Trying to set up their offense. And he's going to get pushed around in the corner here. He'll get double teamed, trying to waste a little bit of time on this Silvertips power play. And we're getting a bit of a dog pile going on. And that will finally be the shot clock. And it looks like we may be getting a few penalties here. So we'll wait and see what's happening here. Mavericks are going to get another player in the box. So not only do they have Brendan Harnack, they also have Grayson Amundsen sitting in the box. Silvertips with the ball here. They set up their offense, working their way around. 5-on-3. Cole Twite up to Schrader. Schrader fires. Good save by Swan. Shebeck will grab it once again. Back to Twite. Over to Shebeck. Schrader fires, but that goes all the way down in the floor. Over and back will be the call. As they'll restart the clock. Still will be 5-on-4, but the Mavericks will get a player back. And they're just trying to waste down this clock. Looking for a chance on goal maybe. 10 seconds on the shot clock down the right side with the ball. Trying to work their way in. Pushing forward. Looking for a shot. Will end up going wide, and that will be a shot clock violation. Montgomery over to Newhook. Passing that one to Shebeck. Montgomery now over to Sharp. And that'll be covered up by Swan. Now the Mavericks moving up the floor with it. Charging forward. Along the right side. Back behind the goal. Now on the stick of Everett Muratori. He's already got one today. He's looking for another. Charging in. Takes a dive. But that'll be a nice save by Orr. Sharp up high with it. taking it into the offensive zone. Takes a long pass, goes right through the needle, finds the stick of Montgomery. And he's going to slow things down. Passing this one to Cullen. Cullen, Montgomery again. Right in front, Shebeck not quite able to collect that one, and they're running out of time. Finds Schrader cutting through center, and it'll end up going down. They'll wave off the goal. Schrader up high with it. Swan gets back to his feet slowly. And it looks like the Mavericks will get the ball back. Charging into the offensive zone. In the corner with it. He'll walk it up to center slowly. Passing this one up to Sutherland. Sutherland walking up. Thinks about the shot. Fakes it. Back up high. Fires that time. Loose in front. Chance again for the Mavericks. Or makes both saves. And stops that chance. Nickel. Passing this one up the floor to Graydon Clark. Clark to Twite. Twite missing Shebeck. And the Mavericks will recover. Moving up the floor with it. He'll look at his options. Passing that one across to Gardner. Gardner sends that one up high. Into the corner again. Gardner walks in, walks off a defender. Looking at a chance. Charging in. Muratori can't beat Orr. As we'll get a quick timeout, I believe. As I think we're going to see the Silvertips come in to discuss what their plan of action will be. So we will be right back when the action continues. You're watching CROW LAX TV. All right, welcome back. 19 seconds on the game clock here. We will see the Mavericks get a chance to maybe put something on the board here before we go into the second intermission. They're going to take their time. Trying to put it on goal, sending it across the crease. It'll be loose in front. There'll be a quick dog pile on top of it. Multiple players trying to find it, and that will do it. We're going to get some pushing and shoving after the play, too. A little bit of some cordially, I'm sure, nice, fun conversations between two rival teams who I'm sure just can't wait for the end of this 10-minute intermission to go at it, because we have a tie, 5-5 here on CROW LAX TV. Silvertips, Mavericks, do not go anywhere. We'll see you in just a second. All right, welcome back. Third period action about to get underway here in Crossfield between the Rockyview Silvertips and the Mountain View Mavericks. I'm Simon Chiskovsky. Y'all have the call for the final 20 minutes, as this game could decide, at least for tonight, who will take the top of the Central. The Mavericks have a few more games in hand than the Silvertips do, but you never know what could matter at the end of the year, as this race for the top of the Central is so close right now. I believe the Mavericks have 19, Silvertips with 18, Chill with 17. You can't get any closer than that. It's going to be so good towards the end of the year, and I am so excited to be able to be a part of bringing that right to you on CROW LAX TV. And with that, we're back underway. The Mavericks will start with the ball here, and they'll have this one, taking it into the offensive zone. Charging forward here along the corner, looking at his options. Trying to set something up here. They'll try and charge into the offensive zone. And the Mavericks will score. 6-5, only 33 seconds into the game. And that's how you get things started. I believe that was Everett Muratori. All right, with that face-off, we're back underway. Ball's going to get launched nearly into the Silvertips bench. It'll narrowly avoid being sent that far. Mavericks recover it in their own zone, and they'll move up the floor, down the left side. That one on the stick of Jace Dolinsky. Dolinsky looking at his options. Trying to set up here. On the far side of the floor, sending this one all the way across. Nearly picked off by the Silvertips, and they'll head the other way now. This one on the stick of Conrad Ferguson. Not going to like what he sees, so he's going to pass that one off and run off the floor. Zach Cullen. He's going to try and hold on to it here. Losing his stick in the process. They'll send it back across the floor. Silvertips setting up in the offensive zone, but they're going to lose it. Mavericks with a near breakaway chance. 1-on-2. He'll sprint right through with a chance on goal, and they'll score. Mavericks jumping up by 2 goals. And the Mavericks are telling the Silvertips, the second period might have been yours, but we're going to take the third period, and we'll be very happy to. As just a little over a minute 30 into the third period, 7-5 is your score. I believe that one came off the stick of Drake May. We'll wait and see, or excuse me, wait for the official announcement on it. Mavericks heading down the floor once again on the charge. Muratori tried to send it across the floor to Brendan Harnack, but he missed. And now the Silvertips heading back out of their own zone. They'll try and set up. Up high with it. Mavericks get the steal back, and they'll head back down the floor once again. Hayden Sutherland charging in, passes that one up to Jordan Benko, but he couldn't beat Orr. Mavericks with it in the corner, and they'll try and set up their offense. Passing this one back up high. Sutherland fires. That one going off the crossbar. And that's a good reminder as well, as I found out during the intermission that with a goal in the second period, Hayden Sutherland became the Mavericks' all-time point leader. So congrats to Hayden Sutherland on a massive accomplishment here today. We'll see if he can keep it up, as a few more goals from him could be massive in the Mavericks' chances at winning this game. And it looks like the Silvertips will be hopping on the power play here. Ball on the stick of Logan Newhook. Cullen passing that one across the zone. Back to Newhook. He'll charge in. Newhook passing that one back to, I believe that's Mondragon. Or excuse me, that was Sharp. And we're going to get another penalty, I believe. And we'll get some pushing and shoving here as well. Few people yelling at each other. Sharp and I believe Clark having a quick chat with Grayson Amundsen, as well as another Maverick, which I didn't catch the number of. So we'll wait and see what happens here. 2 Mavericks in the box currently. I think that was an unsportsmanlike conduct call that I saw there. And it's going to be another Maverick party in the penalty box over there on the away side. As we're going to try and figure out exactly what's going on here. Both refs are still chatting at center. No penalties have been put on the score clock yet. So Jordan Benko is going to go in the box for boarding, if I heard that right. Hayden Sutherland, 10-minute misconduct, as well as a 2-minute illegal cross-checking call, I believe. And I believe the third player in the box, who I can't see the number of currently, is going to be serving that 10-minute misconduct. So there you go. Those are all 3 calls that happened at the end of that play, and not a good sign for the Mavericks, as this will be as good of a chance as any for the Silvertips to get themselves back in this game. Clark has it on the side, playing pass with Schrader. Clark walks in, fires off the post, and the Silvertips recover it. Shebeck to Schrader, to Clark. Clark goes across. Schrader up high to Clark again. Clark walks over to Shebeck, finding Schrader up high. Schrader tried to send it to Clark, missed on the pass. Clark having to go back behind the goal to find it. Swan will recover it, and the Mavericks stay alive just a touch longer. Heading up the floor now, as we're going to get a quick stop, and I think the Mavericks are going to be forced to give up this ball, which means the Silvertips get it back roughly at center. Cullen passing that one down the far side of the floor. Clark over to Cullen, back to Clark again. Clark in the corner. Passing that one over. Fires, he'll score! Silvertips back within 1. Graydon Clark with, I believe, his first of the game, 19th goal of the year. And Graydon Clark getting to continue what so far has been an excellent campaign for him. And we'll get a quick call off the face-off. On the far side, charging in now, that will be on the stick of Cassius Adams. In the corner, Adams fighting for the ball. It was a 3-on-2. Mavericks will end up coming out victorious on that one. And they'll move down the close side of the floor. Charging towards the net with a chance, trying to put it on goal, but he'll run into a few defenders, having to take it back into the corner. He'll end up back up high, all the way across the floor. Swan has cleared his net, so we'll get some, I believe, 5-on-5. Silvertips will head to the penalty kill. Long shot, blocked in front, and it'll go down the floor, and that will do it for the short little bit of 5-on-5 that we got there. as now we are going to see a Silvertip heading to the box here. I believe Colby Berg, if I see the number right, will be the man sitting. There'll be an illegal cross-checking call to Berg. As the Mavericks get their power play started. Or excuse me, not quite. Now they get their power play started. As running out of the box there was Devin Gardner. And they'll get their extra man on the floor. Looking at their options. Sending this one over. Ends up on the other side of the net. Or having to dive over. Mondragon recovering, and he'll go down the floor, running into the bench of the Mavericks. Ball ends up loose, and the Mavericks recover. Mavericks moving back down the floor once again here. On the stick of, I believe that was Sinclair. Sinclair handing it right off to Jace Dolinsky. Back to the corner again, back to Dolinsky. Dolinsky takes his time, looking for a shot. He'll fire off the post. And it'll go all the way back down the floor. Swan leaving his net to find it. Passes it back up to center. And they'll hand this one off. Setting up their offense. In the corner, back behind the goal. On the far side of the floor now. Back up high, Dolinsky. Looking for a teammate right in front. Tried to hit the stick of Benko. On the other side, bounce shot goes over the net. Running out of time on the shot clock, and that will do it. Silvertips will get the ball back, and we'll see Logan Newhook bringing it back up the floor. Newhook passes it up. Silvertips with a chance, but I do not think that Triton Myris liked what he saw on that near breakaway chance, so he'll spin back. Shebeck back up high to Montgomery. Montgomery back to Shebeck. Shebeck with 4 already. He's going to get clobbered at center. Mavericks trying to pick it back up. Shebeck trying to find his own rebound, but he couldn't get there. Mavericks recover the ball. Mavericks with it at center. Will end up on the far side of the floor. Passing this one back up high. Trying to cut in front. That'll be Sinclair. He'll find a teammate on the other side, but miss on the pass. Class having to go into the corner. Back up high again. Riley Banco tried to fire right over the net as Orr will go behind his net to go pick it up. Silvertips loading this one up. Now on the stick of Isaac Nickel. Passing this one into center. And now the Mavericks getting a steal and heading the other way. Nearly getting knocked over by some physical defense. Passing this one over. The Mavericks working their way around. Getting their offense back on the floor. Back to 5-on-5 here. With the ball now. Bamung charging in. That'll be on the stick of Amundsen. He'll look for a shot. He'll miss on that one. He'll end up back up high. Spinning off the defender. Firing that one wide right of the net. Gardner fires again at the shot clock, but he will miss on the attempt. So assumingly the Silvertips will get this ball back. Logan Newhook picking it up in his own zone. He'll pass this one up, and they'll move up the floor. Clark over to Tyler Montgomery. Shebeck passing this one across the floor in the corner now. Trying to set this one up. Clark able to hold on to the ball. Sends it over to Montgomery, who fires and puts that off a stick and into the corner. Mavericks recover it in their own zone. And they're going to move this one up. Trying to spin off a defender. Taking their time. Back up high again. On the stick, I believe, of Everett Miratori. He's going to take it into the corner. Trying to fight off a few defenders. Able to outrun him. Taking it out to center. Trying to do it all himself. Charging in. He's going to fire. Puts it wide of the net. What a solo effort. And it looks like we're going to get some fighting in the corner here. Both players are going at it. Refs quickly coming in to intervene. And they continue to mouth off at each other. And it's probably a safe assumption to make that we are going to end up seeing a few penalties out of this one. Heading to the box right away was Everett Muratori, not wasting much time. Joining his teammate in the box. I believe that's Sutherland still sitting. As now put on the clock will be a 2-minute penalty. It'll be a 2-minute penalty to Muratori for interference, will be the official call. Passing this one up now. Mavericks are going to lose it. Hudson James now on the rush, trying to turn it into a 2-on-1, but he had to turn back as he couldn't really get a chance on goal there. With it up high, Montgomery in the corner, they'll score! Silvertips bury that one, tying it up 7-7 at the 10-minute mark. As we'll get ready for another face-off here. 1:13 still left on the power play for the Silvertips. Or excuse me, that penalty just got taken off the score clock, excuse me. So we're back to 5-on-5. Nickel passes that one. Twite tried to get it under the leg of Swan, but wasn't able to. And it looks like that will be our media timeout here. So with that, we'll give you one last reminder to make sure that you check out the Battle of the Border. Battle of the Border is back this September in Missoula, Montana, toward the beautiful University of Montana campus. Learn about the CROW LAX program and full ride scholarships available for Canadians, all while taking part in the annual North vs. South Box Lacrosse Tournament. Learn more today by following us on Instagram at Battle of the Border Lax. We'll be right back with you when things continue. You are watching CROW LAX TV. All right, welcome back. Third period about to get back underway. The last thing we saw there was a goal from the Silvertips to tie things back up at 7. Charging into the offensive zone here. Mavericks trying to set something up. Passing it up with a chance and a lane. Charging in, but not able to beat the Silvertips goaltender. The Tips trying to move up the floor. Mavericks nearly with the steal. They will get the steal, in fact. Jace Dolinsky grabbing it at center. Dolinsky walking it down the left side. He'll charge in, trying to find a lane. Passes it back up high. Trying to set up, pushing towards the net. Has to fire, not able to beat Orr. Jacob Orr covering it up. And the Silvertips back up the floor. Charging towards the net. But that'll be a nice save by Alex Swan. Play will get blown down here. 9:04 remaining. Mavericks throw this back up the floor once again. On the stick of Sinclair, he'll pass that one over to Amundsen, who fires that one into the crest, or with another nice save. Both goaltenders have just been excellent here today. Only 7 goals allowed on either side. That'll be a shot in on Orr. Rebounds there, trying to muscle his way through. Can he get it on goal? No, he cannot. As some physical defense from the Silvertips avoided a dangerous chance there. Moving up the floor now on the stick of Logan Newhook. Newhook charging into the corner. He's going to get clobbered. Trying to get loose. He'll get knocked down. Ball still there. And they'll all jump on top of each other. And a Maverick is down on the floor, but he'll get back up to his feet as Grayson Amundsen felt that one, unfortunately. Back up high again. Clark sends that one over to Schrader. Montgomery again. Montgomery walks in, trying to fake off the defender. Pushing his way up. Sends it across again to Schrader. Schrader to Clark. Clark pushes his way up. Charging in. Fires, but misses on the shot. Mavericks are going to move back up the floor now. Passing this one over. Everett Muratori hands that one off to Bemung. In the corner now. Gardner tries to push by a defender. Spins by multiple. He'll finally get tangled up and have to pass it back out. Up high again. Dolinski. Dolinski avoids a few defenders. Has to send it towards the net as they'll run out of shot clock. And now the Silvertips try to head the other direction. Or leaves his crease to try and send it up high. Now on the stick of Zachary Cullen. Cullen passes that one over to Shebeck, but that's going to be an over and back call. Big mistake by the Silvertips. We'll have to see if the Mavericks can capitalize. Back up high with it. Mavericks setting up their offense. This one on the stick of Amundsen. Amundsen back up high with it. He's going to waste a little bit of clock. And they want a timeout, so they're going to get one here. So the Mavericks will go into a huddle, and we will go into a real short break until things get back underway. You are watching CROW LAX TV here on YouTube. All right, welcome back. Things about to get underway once again here in Crossfield. Your score, 7-7, 6:45 left on the clock. In the corner we go. Jace Dolinski firing this one, and that'll be covered up by Orr. I believe Sutherland was the one who got the shot off, actually. But regardless, Hayden Sutherland back out of the box. He had a 10-minute misconduct earlier in the game. Now the Mavericks heading back down the floor. Firing that one was Dolinski. It'll be loose or able to get the cover. And now he's going to leave his crease trying to find a teammate, and he will. Silvertips trying to run down the floor with it and set up their offense. He's going to get clobbered and sent into the boards. With it now, Zachary Cullen. He's going to get grabbed as well. Mavericks not able to find that, though. Shebeck gets it, gets knocked down, has it in the corner now. Back out to center. Shot clock restarted here. Mavericks getting the ball, and they'll head down the floor with a chance. Pushing up here. 2-on-1. Couldn't take advantage of it. So now they're going to slow things down. He'll try and outrun the defender. And he'll hand it off instead. Walking in. Has a chance. Will not beat Orr. So we'll see the Silvertips try and head the other direction. Nearly turned over. It will be turned over. Muratori charges, scores. Mavericks with the tiebreaker. 5 minutes left in the third. Everett Muratori. as we'll get ready for another face-off here. 5:30 remaining in the third period. Silvertips now down by a goal and in need of a hero. Moving up the floor with it. This will be on the stick of Hayden Sutherland. He'll take it down the left side. Sutherland, he'll slow things down now. Didn't like what he saw. Looking for a teammate. He'll send it up to Amundsen. Amundsen out to center, passes it up all the way across as they try and set something up here. Pushing this one in on goal, or with a nice save. Or looking at his options, he'll fire it down the floor with a chance now. Silvertips the other way. Sharp puts it on goal, but he wasn't able to bury it. In front, Cullen fires, scores, ties it up. Zach Cullen. The Silvertips get it right back, 8-8. And right when one of these teams thinks they have the win, the other team comes right back just like that. And that's what makes Central Division Junior B lacrosse just so fun to watch, as neither of these teams want to go home with an L. As this ball will be won by the Mavericks. They'll have it up at center. Working their offense in here. Muratori now walking in, trying to attack the center. Wouldn't find a lane. They'll try and set up their offense regardless. Back up high again on the stick of Benko. Benko over to Gardner. Gardner back over again. They'll try and push towards the net. Tried to hit the other side, but it'll be picked off by Isaac Nickel. Nickel running into a double team in the corner. He'll try and find a way to get it loose. Both teams fighting for it here. Finally, it'll get back out. Mavericks will recover it, and they'll have it back up high towards the net. That shot will end up recovered by Orr. The Silvertips getting their offense back out there. 3:45 remaining in the third. Fighting to get it away from the Mavericks bench. They'll pass it back over. Shot by Montgomery. Stop by Swan, and he'll have it. Passes it up. Mavericks heading the other direction. Amundsen, he'll get knocked down. Big hit at center. The Silvertips will recover. And now we'll see what they can set up. Sharp with it at center. He'll hand it off. Ball on the stick of Cullen. Cullen passes it over. Fires. Scores! Silvertips grab a lead. 9-8. And we're going to get a little bit of fighting afterwards, too. I'm not even entirely sure who finished off that final goal there for the Silvertips, as this game has just been non-stop action. We'll have to wait for the official call to figure out whose stick that came off of. My bet is going to be Nolan Sharp, but I'm not 100% sure, so we will wait to find out. As with that, we will get back underway. Charging in, the Silvertips with a chance. They'll fire! They'll score! Silvertips go up by 2 with under 3 minutes in the game. The Rockyview Silvertips making a statement to the rest of the Central. The Mavericks are not out of it yet. Still plenty of time left to go. And if any team can score 2 goals in 3 minutes, I would bet on the Mountain View Mavericks. But the hill got a lot steeper right there. And we'll get a quick whistle here. Schrader, the captain, will get called on that goal. Mavericks having it up at center. And they'll try and set up their offense down in the corner. Muratori He has a few for the Mavericks today. He'll pass it right back up to Dolinski. Dolinski looks, walks into center, tries to fire. He will, into Orr's chest, and he'll jump on top of it. Nickel passes it up. Schrader with it now. Schrader is going to get clobbered at center, and now the Mavericks heading the other direction, but he'll lose it as well, heading the other way. Schrader picking it up, heading down the close boards, and into the corner, back behind the goal. He'll have it along the boards, and he's going to get double-teamed there. And a quick whistle. 2:03 left in the third period. Silvertips will get the ball. And they'll have it up high, passing it over to Cullen. Cullen into the corner. Shebeck charging through, trying to get a shot on. He still has the ball. He'll end up losing it, and it'll get picked back up. Cullen forced into the corner, picking it up along the boards. Silvertips get out of danger. They have the ball still. 10 seconds on the shot clock, trying to get something on goal. Back behind the net, trying to find someone in front, and it'll end up back up high. Swan will end up with it, and it looks like we may end up seeing a penalty to the Mavericks. And that hill that I mentioned earlier just got even more steeper, as if the Mavericks want to get back into this game. They will now have to score 2 goals shorthanded. And it doesn't get much harder than that. Andrew Murray is going to sit for 2 minutes for the Mavericks. The Silvertips working their way around the offensive zone. Up high, cross again. Walking in, thought he had a lane. Twite decided against it. Clark in the corner. Pushing his way up, back up to Twite. Twite to Schrader, back to Twite. Into the corner again. Clark pushing his way. He'll fight through. Able to get it in on Swan. They'll score! 11-8. The Silvertips grab the dagger. Face-off will be won by the Mavericks. Charging in, Muratori. Pushing in, puts it just wide of the post. As the ball will go flying out off the floor would be the way that I'm trying to find it, but my brain doesn't quite want to. I think we have 2 balls on the floor currently, as both Orr has a ball currently, and I think Logan Newhook has one, or is trying to walk up to the referee and alert him of the fact that there are 2 balls. And I think that solves that problem. And we might be getting a timeout here. I'm not entirely sure what's happening, as we're getting a little bit of confusion. And it does look like it'll just be a regular timeout. I'm not entirely sure which team called for it. Or maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be a timeout, as they're quickly calling everyone back onto the floor. Orr's not ready, and they'll blow it back down. They'll blow it back down. Wow, the confusion right now, as nobody seems to know what's going on. The Mavericks nearly had a clear shot on an open net, but the referees caught them on it. And just like that, things get back started again, as I think the Silvertips will have it. And they'll rush up the floor. Logan Newhook passing it off. They'll try and set up in the offensive zone. Making their way around. Firing. Not able to beat the goaltender. The Mavericks trying to head the other way now with a chance. In on goal. As now the Silvertips the other way. Only 30 seconds left. And they'll try and get something going with their offense. Trying to waste down clock maybe at the very least. Swan grabs it and hands it off. The Mavericks will run the other way down the floor. And they're going to have it up high. Only 10 seconds remaining here. Mavericks looking for something, firing, or with a nice save, he'll get a whistle. And as the Silvertips grab this ball here, and the clock starts once again, that will do it. The Rockyview Silvertips win at home against the Mountain View Mavericks, 11-8. A massive win for the Silvertips. And I'd have to check my math on it, but I believe that does give the Silvertips the top of the Central, at least for tonight. The Mavericks have a few more games in hand, as I believe they have played 12 games to the Silvertips 14. So still plenty of time for the Mavericks to try and fight for it back. But at least for tonight, that is a huge win for the Silvertips. Anytime that you're going to be able to take out one of your biggest rivals for that top spot in the Central, it'll be tight all the way through between the Chill, Mavericks, and Silvertips. Games like these are super important, so thank you so much for joining me for it here on CROW LAX TV. I've been Simon Chaskovsky. Make sure to have yourself a good night and subscribe while you're at it to catch all of the Junior B Lax action that we have here on CROW LAX TV.